Holy God, who's that? Hold on. What?
Is RH here?
No.
Is PS here?
No.
Is RW here?
No.
We're just making some initial inquiries.
Holy God. This is the War Memorial at Port Bannatyne. Jinty Bell's son, Malcolm Muldoon. He was very unfortunate, Malcolm, in that he was called up for war service quite late in life, you know. I mean, he'd be well in his 30s. And the war was progressing about 1917. So it was, you know, they were needing more men for the front. And they were calling up older guys, and he was one of them, you know. And he joined the Argyll and Southern Highlanders, sent to France, and sadly killed in action in France. His name's inscribed here. He's remembered here at the War Memorial at the port. You'll see his name there. Malcolm Muldoon, Argyll and Southern Highlanders. It's not got a date, but I think I'm pretty sure it was 1917 that Malcolm died in, you know.
Yeah, sure.
His dad was Patrick Muldoon, that's where he's got his name from. And Jinty would have got the dreaded black outlined death notice from the War Office at the cave.
And which she had an address at the cave.
She had an address at the cave. It was actually addressed to her.
I know, yeah, because I read that she received mail at the cave.
Nether Druskid Hill Cave or something, I can't remember it. So, I mean, that was pretty awful for her, you know.
Yeah.
Her only child, and her mental health apparently deteriorated.
You know, her son helped her refurbish the cave to a degree, didn't he?
He was concerned for his mum, you know.
Yes.
Although she didn't give him up as such, she just couldn't look after him anymore. And when he was, you know, he wasn't like toddler or anything like that. He was maybe about coming up to the end of primary school age, and he was looked after for by others in Rossi when she had what you'd call probably nowadays a breakdown, you know, and withdrew from life.
Of course, there would have been a stigma,
yeah,
you know, for single mums in those days.
He kept in touch, and he was a builder's labourer, I think, Malcolm, you know, but he was always concerned about his mum.
He'd go
out to the cave to try and persuade her to come back into Rossi.
Well, I heard that she died
you know.
in Rossi. She died in Mill Street.
She died in Mill Street, yeah. What happened was she'd become really unwell, and she was seeking medical help, and she set off for Rossi on foot and trudged all the way, you know, not well at all, trudged all the way into the town and collapsed in Mill Street.
Oh, really? So she wasn't. So she wasn't living in Mill Street. She was still living in the cave.
She's still in the cave.
At the age of 77.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She came into Mill Street, and this is allegedly, but this is from what I've gathered from reports. But somebody saw her, a householder saw her, and took her into the house, and she died in that person's house. And it was a policeman who was passing, came in and was there when she died, and verified that the death was a natural causes, whatever.
Sure. Well, she was a fair age, 77.
For such a hard life, man, she'd had a difficult life, you know.
Yeah.
A hard old shift that one was, you know.
I know.
She was an exceptional person. You know?
Well, she's well remembered because I know there's a beer named after her.
Jinty Bell, yeah, isn't that gallus?
I know. Well, there's a Bute Brewing Company here on the island, and it's very good to call it.
However,
call it that.
It said on one of their blurbs, it's advertising the beer, and it says, as dark and deep, or as deep and dark as her cave. Obviously, I never visited the cave.
Okay.
Because it's not deep and it's not dark, you know. But it's a really nice touch. Okay. I thought it was a great touch.
But let's head to the cave.
Right, let's head. See if we can find it. Right, here we are at base camp, which is the bird hide, out at the other side of Ettrick Bay, which is where we start our intrepid to somebody start their adventure to see if we can locate Jintys Cave.
So this is a birdhouse round Ettrick Bay. Police! Police!
I'm in here with my bird, Hugh. My bird. Come on in.
Right.
I'm just changing into my gallus and my wellies.
Right. This is the southern end of Ettrick Bay. Is that right? I don't know. I was just wondering.
I've been lived here 60 years, I couldn't tell you.
Right, sure.
Wait, hold on, you got my wellies around because it's rough terrain out there too.
Right.
You need the proper, you need a sensible footwear.
Well, I've got
as my dear mother would have said.
I've got my boots on here, so.
Oh. Wellies, they are wonderful. Wellies, they are swell. They keep out the water and they keep in the smell.
Okay, so there's this track here that takes us along. It is a rough walk.
It's a rough walk.
Watch out for hazards.
Yeah. There's space in the dike there, and we go through this.
Right.
We go through this. It's a wee bit hard going, but it's alright.
It's not too bad.
Come on, you put a bit of life in it. Here are yet again. The purpose of our return has been to verify that this is indeed a Jintys Cave. And the way we're going to try and do that is by finding, oh you bugger, sorry, is by finding the wee bit of remedial work that our son Malcolm did to the outside of the cave I couldn't find before, but you and I are going to give it an extensive search and see if we can find that, and then we will know for sure if it's thumbs up, thumbs down.
Right.
And we'll take it from there. Anyway, right, here we go. Yo!
So that's the wrong cave.
Banzai.
This must be the wrong address. I don't know how that postman got on.
It was Big Tommy McNally.
Tommy McNally was a postman?
He was a postman who delivered it.
Really?
Aye, 1917.
So he delivered the notice about...
No, Tommy's my big mate in
Right,
Rossi.
okay.
Oh, it definitely is. It definitely is. Well, it's thanks to my good friend Jessica and my friend David and my friend Sue. We were out here about a month ago or so, and I'm saying no, it's round there, no, that's it there, and this is indeed it, as we will see when we look at it a bit more closely. So it's Jintys Cave, you know. So.
All right, so we'll go and have a look.
Right, we will, and we'll.
I'll tell you what. I'll just check the water from here, so people have got an idea. Right. So this is the. It's opposite here, but now that people can see it, I think we'll have a...
It's like it's not that far at all if you you follow the path that we did before. You come through that bit broken wall back there, you know, come round by McNeil's Point, named after my good friend Skin McNeil.
Right.
And then you come through the wall there, and then you go up rather than staying hogging the kind of shoreline.
Right.
You go up and land a wee bit. Now we're not talking about much, and then you walk around. There's almost like a track, and there before you.
Here it is, right.
So let's have a wee look.
Right.
The cave. So this is it.
Right.
You can see it doesn't go that far in.
I know.
It doesn't go far in at all, but it's a bit more of a cave than what what I took it for. What you can see is up here,
right.
you can see the remains of the cement for the lintel that our son Malcolm, you see that?
So our son Malcolm.
He built this as a kind of a lean-to kind of thing to give our son kind of protection against the elements, you know.
And
so you can still see that there.
And of course, so of course it would have extended out.
Aye, you can see. Look, you can see where she's bored the hole, or he's bored the hole there. Look, where to kind of support. See there?
Yeah, I can see
to kind of support the framework, to kind of hold it up.
Yes,
There's a couple of other wee bored holes like that.
Oh right, yeah.
About the place.
Right.
But you can see that there. I mean, that's absolutely definitely it. And down here, she's tried to build a wee bit of a kind of floor with these stones and with you can see she's tried to kind of pave it. Remember, we're talking about a long time ago.
Because in those days, of course, people would have paved their houses.
Yeah.
You know.
Aye. Yeah, and that's what she's tried to do, and she's also used slate from the quarry, the quarry that we saw at the back up at the farm.
Right.
She's used slate from that to kind of pave it a wee bit, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know how far it goes. I don't think it goes in very far. Let me see.
Right, we'll just go and have a look. Oh. Can you see anything in there?
It goes a bit further than I thought.
Right.
A bone, oh my God.
A bone. God almighty. But maybe she slept in there, if you know what I mean.
Probably slept in this bit here,
Yeah.
And like that.
It's still a bit damp though as well, apart from anything else, isn't it?
Less than half. Quite amazing, I think.
Yeah.
She was a strong wee woman.
Oh aye.
25 years, man. I would have lost 25 minutes on a bad day. Yeah,
Right, sure. How many years she had the canopy? You know, she had quite a few years before she had the canopy.
I don't know exactly when he put up, but she must have had several years without it. Malcolm was killed 1917, I think,
Right.
in the First World War in France.
Yeah, sure.
So obviously he put it up before that. She was, I think, 77 when she died. She was
a hardy woman.
She was a hardy woman.
Especially for those days, you know.
Yeah, and she was a mill girl. She may have had her son outside in Rossi.
Right, sure.
Not even in a house, you know.
Right.
Pretty rough times, you know.
Sure.
You know, it's quite incredible, I think. I think it's amazing that somebody could, all these years out here. But just think then, back then, right, there would have been no lighting whatsoever. Nothing. Obviously no electricity. She wouldn't have had a light. Apparently she had an alarm clock, some kind of form of clock,
right.
and a couple of fish boxes for furniture.
And going to the farm every day, is that right? Because she worked in a farm.
She worked. I know she worked with tatty picking. She definitely did that.
Yeah.
I think she went in. I think also, as we said before, I think she went into Rossi as well with Heather Jock, another old worthy Heather Jock, and they sold heather and stuff to the people coming off the ferries.
Oh, right.
But when it turned out when she was really unwell, she walked from here into Rossi to get medical help.
I know, yeah.
I had to walk all the way, and she died. She collapsed in the street.
How long would that take nowadays to walk?
You could be from here to Rossi. It depends how quick a walker you are.
Yeah.
With me, it would take like a couple of hours. Where she died, and apparently it was a policeman who had been passing was called in and pronounced her dead. You know,
yeah.
But it's really sad. She's buried up.
Sad.
She's buried up in the high street. But I have to. There's no.
She's buried in it. Has she got a gravestone there?
No, there's no. I don't think there's any markers for it, but she is buried there. Quite amazing.
Okay, is it?
Quite amazing. Respect, Jinty.
Right,
Respect.
Respect. Absolutely respect.
And look.
I know. Yeah, what you find. Right, I'll get. Well, I'm glad we eventually found Jintys Cave.
So am I, Hugh. So am I. I did well. Here, you've earned this wee bowl of soup. Enjoy.
Fantastic. Charlie, I've got a fly in my soup.
Good. Zip it.